Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from Business Insider. Now, this was published on March 11th. It's written by Enrique Fernandez and Yevin Ramvindran. I'm butchering that last name, I'm betting. From Business Insider, España. Bill Gates advised against investing in Bitcoin, saying cryptocurrencies damage the environment. That's just his way of attacking them. He's a globalist. He wants people to be brought into the 2030 agenda and turn into the equivalent of modern day, brought into the 2030 agenda of modern day serfdom. Neo-serfdom. That's what they want. That's what the globalists want. He is a Bilderberger. He is a globalist. He is a scumbag. Cryptocurrency as, say, a way of exchange takes them out of the system, like of point A to point B transaction. They're not involved. There's no way to easily track it. Now there are becoming ways for them to track cryptocurrency, but you understand they have no control over it. They can't decide whether or not to stop your payment or anything like that. You get to do what you want to do with it. You have financial freedom from them. You have created it. You can create a secondary economy that they have no control over. Which, on that note, one thing they're afraid of is when they start limiting things, all right, with this globalist agenda, like, say, eating meat and fuel and other things. They don't want you to be able to have a system of transaction, a system of barter, however you want to look at it, where you have something to exchange for something else. Because then they lose control over you. This is him just trying to attack it from the environmentalist angle. But you know that there's more to it than that. Okay. Billionaire, look at their leading bullets here. Billionaire Microsoft founder Bill Gates criticized Bitcoin's environmental impact in an interview. Speaking to CNBC, Andrew Ross Sorkin, he said it used more electricity than any other method. Oh, no. Cambridge University analysis suggested Bitcoin used more energy than Argentina, the BBC reported. See more stories on Insider Business page. You got to love how they throw that last one right there. Like, just in there, like, advertising. I had to read it just for that fact. It's like, come on now, people. But this thing is like, they're talking about it uses more energy than Argentina. But you have people mining, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Doge, whatever the case may be, Ethereum. They're mining it in Argentina. So are you taking and you're counting that energy that's being used by mining by people in Argentina to say that there's more energy being used than Argentina? Just a thought. I mean, it seems like that you would do something like that. And if you look at how this is being done, do you know where most of the Bitcoin mining happens? The overwhelming majority of it is in China. It's like 70%. So why aren't they bitching about 68 or 70% or something ridiculous like that? Why aren't they bitching about China's energy consumption and how much, where it's all coal-fired plants for the most part there, why aren't they bitching about that environmental situation there? Oh, because China signed on to the Paris Accords and gets to do whatever the hell they want because the globalists want them as a way to destroy manufacturing in the West. They want to use China let China build itself up to destroy like manufacturing and the economies in the West. So of course China gets a free fucking pass. You don't hear Gates going, well, China needs to stop the cryptocurrency thing, which they're trying to, but that's not because of the energy consumption. That's the narrative that they're using there. But it's because people are using cryptocurrency to get around the CCP. It's become part of a black market currency system there, and they don't like that. You don't hear Gates bitching, though, again, about China. Anyway, Bill Gates is one of the richest people in the world and an outspoken advocate fighting against climate change. And here's the thing. If it wasn't for Microsoft's, consumption of energy, its pollution it's created in manufacturing different things, he wouldn't be as rich as he is. So this just goes to show what a hypocrite he is. Because if he truly cared about the environment, he would take a vow of poverty. He would give all of his money away, and he would go live He would go live with Birkenstocks, all right, out in some commune somewhere, and be happy at this point. But he isn't doing that. No, he's flying around on private jets. He's eating beef, hamburgers, while telling you shouldn't. He's, telling you shouldn't travel on airplanes when he's flying on his private jet, spouting CO2 all over, around the world. If you don't see the hypocrisy and you think that this guy is someone that should be held up as an environmentalist, you seriously need help. In a Clubhouse interview with New York Times reporter and CNBC co-anchor Andrew Ross in February, Gates spoke out against Bitcoin, citing environmental damages caused by the cryptocurrency. Bitcoin uses more electricity per transaction than any other method known to mankind, Gates said. It's not a great climate thing. However, he added, that Bitcoin's energy use may be acceptable if green energy is used and it is not crowding out other users. See, got to put these conditions on it. See, you could have solar panels all over your friggin' roof, enough to power your crypto mining setup. And I'm sure Bill Gates would find some other hoop for you to jump, find some other excuse. This is just now going, well, if we had green energy, I'm telling you, if we went green, he would find some other reason to say that cryptocurrency is bad. He just has a convenient out right now on why he's doing what he's doing. And this idea of more energy than any other transaction. When you have a machine hashing code, compiling code, whatever the case may be, yes, it's going to consume more energy. But we're also talking about now, depending on the type of cryptocurrency, say it's one that benefits from CPU hashing. If you're using, say, a new AMD Ryzen generation processor, especially the 5000. They're so energy efficient that you get 16 cores, 32 threads, just barely running at the stock wattage, keeping up with Intel. And if you can overclock it, spanking Intel in a lot of cases, you're talking about extreme energy efficiency because that Intel processor is using several hundred watts. The AMD is using, say, 105 at stock configuration. So you got to take into account when you're claiming these energy claims, how are these things being mined? Is it, a rig that's specifically designed to mine, say, a GPU type of crypto that doesn't, say, have a video card in it, but has a GPU like those mining boxes? You got to look at them because they're all designed, like cryptocurrencies are designed to have more efficient hashing depending on what you're using, like, say, a video card or a CPU. This is just a blanket statement. It's not looking at anything actual. It's not looking at actual energy consumption. It's not looking at the fact of, like, say, renewable energy. I believe it's in Canada. It could be Alaska. I watched this guy. He's one of those urban explorers. This town that had a hydroelectric dam, just a few, it was like a logging or something town or something like that. A crypto mining company moved into a warehouse there near the dam, and they're buying power, which is being generated by the dam at a very low cost. And, that's green energy. And you're trying to play this like, well, it consumes more energy and make this automatic assumption it isn't green. And then you go, well, he said, well, if it was green, maybe it'd be a different story. It's like the idea of with the 2 weeks to flatten the curve. They keep moving the goalpost. You don't think this is going to happen here? Of course it is. Gates clarified that he does not see climate change and Bitcoin as being closely related and labeled himself a Bitcoin skeptic, citing a preference to invest in products like malaria and measles vaccines rather than cryptocurrencies. Well, yeah, you can't exactly, slip in sterilizing compounds into a cryptocurrency. Now, can you there, Bill? Which, what I find funny is it was proven in African courts. That's what they did. They gave a bunch of people in Africa vaccines from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation that caused sterility. And, this doesn't get any traction in the West that he caused, sterility in all these people in Africa. So, I'll say that and have confidence in saying that that's why he'll invest in those vaccines. Because he's about population control. And it's about a distraction. He gives a shit about Bitcoin. He does. He's trying to be like, oh, I'm a Bitcoin skeptic. No, you don't like the fact that there's an alternative financial system that circumvents the banks and the globalist control and all that, Bill. Just admit it, you little weasel. Cryptocurrencies have been a major culprit for energy consumption, with the world's Bitcoin network using as much power as the whole of Ireland in 2018. Analysis by the University of Cambridge released earlier this year suggested that Bitcoin was now consuming more electricity than Argentina, according to the BBC. Of course, the BBC is going to say, inflate the thing. Of course, University of Cambridge, where you got a bunch of green people, are going to take and inflate this shit. They really want to pump this idea of this is going against the environment. It's consuming massive amounts of energy. We need to stop it. This isn't about the fact of the environment. This is about the fact of an alternate form of currency. This is about the fact that you can't exactly roll out, say, a global currency when you have a competing currency going up against it. Because that's what Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other cryptocurrencies amount to, a competing currency. And it goes against the globalists' plans. Gates is not the only one to speak out against Bitcoin's environmental impact. The CIO of Societe Generale Kleinwort, Hambros Bank, Fahid Kamal, saying Bitcoin's energy use was staggering and a major worry for investors. Not really. That's the thing. They try to make it sound like it's a big worry. Most of these people who are crypto mining, they set themselves up so at least when they first start out, they're especially, if they're like, say, with an up-and-coming currency, they build to where they're able to turn a profit. They're able to cover their electricity. So you try to make it sound like people who are investing in cryptocurrency are upset, are worried. Maybe some of those people who look at it as like, establishment type of, investing, maybe because they don't understand it. But people who are investing because they're also mining understand this. But hey, whatever. Economist Nirul Robini also criticized Bitcoin and the growing trend in Bitcoin investment, spiked by endorsements from Tesla chief Elon Musk. Oh no, Musk went against the establishment. And, him giving a tweet of cryptocurrencies explained, they don't like that. They don't like the fact that they're, he's showing people what they are. Oh, these people it's about control for them. Since the fundamental value of Bitcoin is zero and would be negative if a proper carbon tax was applied to its massive polluting energy hogging production, I predict that the current bubble will eventually end in another bust, Robini said. So this is the thing. That right there is a clue what they want to do, tell you what they're going to do. They're going to try to impact a carbon tax. They're going to try to use a carbon tax to stop cryptocurrency. And they're like, well, it has a net value of zero, and once we put our carbon tax on it, it ain't going to be worth shit. That's what that's being said right there. That's their plan. The carbon tax is about, that's the whole point of the carbon tax. It's about basically using the very thing that's a building block of life to control all of us. This has nothing to do with the environment. It's about control. Because you add on a carbon tax, it's like VAT. I don't understand how, when your cousins here in the United States, said, we ain't going to pay for a tax on tea. How you idiots in the UK, no offense because you are idiots, just sit there and allow yourselves to be charged a value-added tax that, with the name alone, should tell you I ain't paying that shit because there's no value added to it. It's just a tax. That's just a nice way of saying you're getting bent over and fucked. That's what carbon tax is. It's a nice way of saying you're getting bent over and fucked. And to make you feel guilty, they try to make it sound like you're some evil polluter, some evil person, if you don't want to bend over and get fucked. And they're going to use the carbon tax to go after Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Watch. However, others have stood behind Bitcoin, and the cryptocurrency soared to record highs on February 21, reaching $58,640. Mad Money host Jim Cramer previously told Sorkin on CNBC that it was almost irresponsible for companies to not own Bitcoin. Well, yeah, and he's one of those ones that, is an establishment hack. I think he actually realizes that they need to legitimize it to gain control of it. I think that's what they're looking at, because if you get the big businesses in, you get all these large companies, then federal regulators come in, whether it's in the US, the EU, the UK, Asia, whether it's, China's already going after Bitcoin because, like I said, it's become an alternate currency to the Union B. You know, but you're going to have these people in powerful places, if the big businesses get in, that are going to want to regulate it. And that's how they're going to gain control of it. Anyway, meanwhile, ARK Investor founder Cathie Woods said she expected the price of Bitcoin to rise between $40,000 and $400,000 and that digital wallets would gut traditional banks. Yeah, and that's what they're afraid of. Because you have all these globalists, their wealth is tied... Excuse me. Their wealth is tied to and based on those banks. Those traditional banks are where they, get their wealth from in large part. Whether it be from the fact of the transactions, whatever. They're looking at the fact of this is going to affect their bottom line. Do you think Bill Gates doesn't see that Bitcoin is going to screw him and his globalist cohort's plans? Of course he does. He's just playing it cool right now. Bill Gates is like that. Go watch his depositions from the Microsoft antitrust. You look at it in the beginning, he's playing cool. And then he realizes, playing it cool, trying to play stupid, all that, like he's doing here. He realizes that doesn't work. You want to see the stages of Bill Gates and his smugness and how he looks at people. Watch those depositions. Because, like I said, it starts out, he tries to play it like he is here. Nothing to see here. Oh, I don't think that. But then you see as they start pushing him, how he becomes. And you'll realize his real stance on things. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.